The top stories: expats call for institutionalization of the #NoMore movement. And UN holds talks with Sudan's rival factions. Hello and many thanks for joining us. You're watching Addis News Hour. With the news, I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Ethiopians and people of Ethiopian origin, as well as friends of Ethiopia, have been exerting maximum effort to support Ethiopia in its hour of difficulty. Pan-Africanism must prevail, struggling against racial segregation and a challenge to the creeping neocolonialism. The remark came here today when Burtukan Ayano, State Minister for Foreign Affairs, briefed members of the Ethiopian diaspora here at Sheraton Hotel. Take a look.
Speaking here today, Burtukan Ayano thanked the diaspora for their efforts to rally behind the cause of Pan-Africanism.
Our own experience showed us that when Africans speak with one voice, they can resist unwarranted third-party influences. We have seen how the concept of African solution for African problems is one of an immense value. At this juncture, I would like to thank our brothers and sisters who have demonstrated their solidarity with us at multilateral levels in times of our needs. The enemies of Ethiopia at this chapter have not only returned to destroy our country, but also tried to destroy it from the face of the earth. However, their ill-intended wish was defeated by the all peace-loving citizens at home and abroad, who have played a historic role in defending our national interests and our independence through the challenges we have made so far and the distance we have traveled.
Members of the diaspora community on their part expressed their resolve to take Pan-Africanism to the next level and contribute their fair share for a free and prosperous Africa.
The role of the diaspora, I think the diaspora plays a huge role, right, in terms of policy making, in terms of, there are a lot of things that's happening in the West that the Ethiopian people may not be aware of here. And our role, the diaspora, is to make sure that the West understand that we stand for the people. We are here for the people, to make sure that policymakers understand that we are united, we are one.
We have a #NoMore group. So the goal is more of to bring African together, and we need to bring Africa together now. So now is the time to start to come together, and then there are too many things that's expected from us. Like where I live in Minnesota, we have to bring all other Africans, sisters and brothers together first. So if all diaspora do the same thing in all the states they live, and then also here in Addis or in Ethiopia, once we have that organization, we can meet and then see what's the next step. So the idea is more of so the Africa, how are we going to develop? So we have to first list the problem that we have, and then how are we going to resolve that problem? So such as we have to have our own media, like CNN has, America has CNN, but Africa doesn't have any strong media. So once we come together, we have to have our own media, and then African people have to get a report from Africa News. So that's the main goal. So once we unite, this is going to be one of the things that we have.
This meeting is about the Pan-Africanism, so I'm very happy that I'm attending this meeting. This is we see a lot of ambassadors today from all over Africa. So the purpose is that Africa needs to be united and become one. So, we should reject the modern colonization. So I'm here, especially with the No More movement.
To bring back the unity of Africa. Well, it's to stand up for Ethiopia. We were asked by Abe to do a record with artists like Free the World. So we got 22 artists together from all over the world, and we produced a song, which I'm sure you played on ETV, Stand Up for Ethiopia. So these small projects we are doing, enlightening.
Ethiopian ambassador to Kenya, Meles Alam, received the acting director of United Nations Human Settlement Program, UN Habitat Africa Office, Omar Saila. During their deliberations, the ambassador and Saila exchanged ideas on the measure of cooperation between the government of Ethiopia and UN Habitat, such as sustainable solid waste management, institutional coordination in the urban sector and urban development, technical support for integrated regional urban planning, resettlement of IDPs, and the WASH project. Saila noted that there is a strong partnership between Ethiopia and the UN agency since 1998. He also underscored that the UN Habitat portfolio reached $10 million in 5 years. The ambassador, on his part, briefed the acting director on the current situation in our country and the commencement of a national dialogue and reconciliation to bring about peace, unity, and prosperity to the people of Ethiopia. As the #NoMore movement continues gaining momentum, some say it should be formally structured as an African movement, shored up by robust, strong Pan-Africanism movement. South African youth leader and president of the Soweto Parliament Lux and winner of Ghana Most Beautiful 2021 pageant, Setor, made the remark in an interview with ETV. They have also pledged to properly promote Ethiopian case in their respective nations, as Ethiopia is the pride of Africa. Shifara Olako has the following account.
The South African youth leader and president of the Soweto Parliament Lux and winner of Ghana Most Beautiful 2021 pageant, Setor, have been visiting different parts of the country. While talking to ETV, they reiterated that Ethiopia continues being source of pride and inspiration for other African nations, as it has never been colonized. Thus, the #NoMore movement needs to be replicated and continentally institutionalized. This, they said, helps sustain the momentum to fend off undue foreign pressure.
We need to make sure that the No More movement exists in every single country in this continent. Not only exists by virtue of logo, it must exist on the ground, it must exist in structure, it must have life, we must continue to talk. We must have a WhatsApp group with executives of No More WhatsApp, No More movement in every country, where we talk every single day with people that can interpret. If you can't speak Amharic, some of us will interpret that these people, that the young people in Ethiopia are saying 1, 2, 3, so that Ghana can understand, so that South African can understand. You can interpret in Spanish, so that we actually have a hold on our continent. Because right now, no African has a strong hold on the African continent.
Having come here to see for myself firsthand what is happening on the ground, I believe that it will be in good spirits to go back, like he said, probably rally a few young people together, because it's the young people that can hold the continent together, and probably start an Ethio-Ghana friendship to start with. So that's part of my plan from here going, to start an Ethio-Ghana friendship. Then from there we can take it ahead. Maybe we could start a Ghana-South African friendship, and then we could see how we could merge the African continent together and fight against some of these little ills and protect each other as a continent.
This can be realized through real Pan-Africanist movement and a strong bond created among the nations of the continent bound by a common cause.
I personally believe that we should learn stuff from countries like Cuba, who run their own affairs. We have to learn to start running our own affairs irrespective of the consequences. When we begin to run our own affairs irrespective of the consequences, and we begin to network as Africans, country by country, West Africa networking with East Africa networking with North Africa networking with South Africa, then we can come together and push the agenda of African unity as a whole, and then we can break away from neocolonialism eventually.
Make sure that every single school in Africa teaches grade 1 learners, 7-year-olds, this language, so that in 20 years' time, Africa speaks one language. That improves our trade, that improves our economies in the countries, that improves our communication and personal relationships. Then we start introducing one currency. Why? Because that is a plan for the future. Those people that speak one language, in future they must use one currency. Then we'll see who is a real power nation. Africa is a real power nation.
Regarding the flurry of complaints being lodged by some regarding Lax's involvement in the politics at his hometown in Soweto, he told ETV that TPLF members and foreign agents are trying to tarnish his image.
Find an account that speaks positive, 100 tweets that are positive, that are fighting for the people of Ethiopia, and then that same person then says Lax is xenophobic. You must take that person serious. But if you look at the history of their tweets, there's nothing positive about Dr. Abiy. There's nothing positive about Ethiopia. And then they say Lax is xenophobic because he's here speaking for the people of Ethiopia. We mustn't even speak about these people on such platforms. We're giving them airtime. They don't deserve this airtime, these people.
They've also appreciated the warm hospitality and friendly gestures bestowed upon them during their stay in Ethiopia.
እንድትጎበኙ የሚያጓጓ በርካታ ነገር ይኖረናል። አሁን ቀጣይ ጉዟችሁ ወደዛ ይሆናል። መልካም ቆይታ አብራችሁ ነው። እንኳን
Yes sir.
ኦሮሚያ ዳወና ወልረዲ ያስፖራ
Volcanoes, acidic pools, and salt lakes.
Welcome back. African regional institutions must play a leading role in institutionalizing the ongoing #NoMore movement as a critical step to ease the socio-economic burdens in Africa. The remark came here today when Meseret Kasahun, an independent scholar, talked to ETV English. She said regional institutions need to maximize their unprecedented roles to institutionalize the No More movement. Haptamu Ashagre reports.
No more! No more! No more! No more!
Ethiopia is still put to the test by excessive pressure by the West for its own interests, as the Horn of African nation continues to play the role of a powerhouse in the Red Sea. The West casts its eyes on it for the advancement of its interests. Talking to ETV English, Meseret Kasahun, an independent social policy scholar, remarked regional institutions need to work aggressively to institutionalize the #NoMore movement.
So we have like a continental organization like AU. We have also different regional economic communities. Like we have one in East African community, EAC. I don't think Ethiopia is the member, but there is a Horn of African group led by IGAD, which Ethiopia is a member. There are ECOWAS in the West. There is also SARC, the Southern African region countries that they have regional organizations. So this regional organization can be a platform to institutionalize this idea of no more movement, but it shouldn't be snatched by governments. It has to evolve as a civic engagement mechanism, a civic organization led by independent individuals, not related to regional powers or governments. Just to start and then to promote the idea, the regional organizations and the continental organization AU can be a platform to give a space, a platform for individuals to come together and then put their ideas together and then make it like a regional agenda.
The current slogan, #NoMore, has touched a sensitive chord among Africans, African Americans, and formerly colonized people. But to limit #NoMore only to achieving victory over the TPLF and its foreign supporters will render the current #NoMore obsolete. According to the scholar, mobilizing African countries as well as African institutions are said to be critical to advance No More movement as an opportunity. She added political decisions are also important to maximize the base of the movement in the continent.
It has to be institutionalized, but it has to be also, it has to help us to reflect inward. So like, for us to say no more to the Western world is easy, right? What about saying no more to dictators? That's also going to be a catching phrase for many African countries to say to their rulers, because in many African countries, we're not yet there. We're not yet there in terms of good governance. We're not yet there in terms of building democracy. We're not yet there in terms of using the country resource for country development. So I think it is an opportunity that can be utilized to mobilize Africans to engage in civic issues, civic affairs, and political processes, so that they can make decisions, not always receiving the decision that comes from their rulers. So I think it's a good opportunity.
Meseret underlined that the No More movement mobilizes a lot of societies as well as other groups marginalized by developed world. The movement is also falsifies the wrong narratives disseminated by the TPLF cliques, she pointed.
No More as a movement is able to mobilize many Ethiopians in the diaspora, as well as in the country, related to the fake news produced by the international news media originally, and also the pressure that was coming from the international community, because we Ethiopians know what TPLF has done in the past while they were ruling the country, and at the same time why they started the war by attacking the northern command base on November 4.
No more! No more! No more! No more! No more!
Ethiopia expects her sons and daughters in the diaspora to contribute their share in rebuilding war-torn regions. A large number of the diaspora communities have been flocking to Ethiopia following the Great Homecoming Challenge back in December. Sintayo Tambrat has more.
Last month, the Ethiopian government invited 1 million members of the Ethiopian diaspora to return home for the Ethiopian Christmas, which is on the 7th of January. Many keep returning to the nation ahead of the Timkat celebration next week. And many of this Ethiopian diaspora have not been to Ethiopia for over a decade, mainly due to the political situation in the country when the TPLF used to dominate the central government. Upon their arrival, most of these diasporas have brought with them donations of some kind, including medicines and clothes for the people affected by the war in Amhara and Afar states. This has received a huge acclamation from the Ethiopian government.
As you can see, a large number of Ethiopians in the diaspora have been donating a great deal of medicines and medical equipment for efforts to rebuild health facilities looted by the TPLF. We are really grateful for that.
Those who entered home before the Ethiopian Christmas attended the holiday in Lalibela, which is located at 700 km north Ethiopia. Many were happy to be there. The Lalibela reunion at the holiday event is a clear showcase to the world that Ethiopia is currently safe and peaceful. Despite incessant campaigns by certain global media and Western governments and their embassies here in Addis for defaming Ethiopia and giving a wrong picture of Ethiopia to the global communities, visitors to Addis and beyond say they experienced no security issues in places they have toured.
From the news we heard, Lalibela is not a safe place to celebrate Christmas, which is Jesus' birthday, but we just wanted to prove to them that it's wrong. Addis Ababa as well as Lalibela is safe. Ethiopia is safe. So it's more of like there is a fake news around media, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera. They're saying that Lalibela as well as Addis Ababa and other places are not safe, and then they're asking their citizens to leave. So we wanted to prove them that they're wrong by coming here and then prove them that it is safe.
I live in Florida, the United States. My name is Colin Sergoul. I didn't have any expectation. We did know that there was a conflict, but I haven't had any experience that will deter me from being here in Ethiopia. I have enjoyed my stay here tremendously.
Prompt response by the Ethiopian diaspora shows that unity has been solidified as a result of the dark days which until lately loomed large over the Horn of African nation. While paying visits to looted and ruined facilities in the two states, the diaspora have strengthened their support to the ongoing rebuilding effort. The upcoming 2022 Timkat or Epiphany is another key event expected to make another big reunion of Ethiopians in the diaspora, as was Christmas in Lalibela.
In business news, State Minister for Foreign Affairs Redwan Hussein has called on the diaspora community to redouble their efforts to revamp the investment sector. Redwan made the call while delivering a keynote speech during a forum on diaspora investment organized by the Investment Commission of Ethiopia. He also appreciated Ethiopians and friends of Ethiopia in the diaspora for their spectacular commitment to defending Ethiopia's interests in times of its need. Tigist Sarnesa has this report.
Redwan urged the Ethiopian community in the diaspora to boost trade and investment activities in Ethiopia through their active engagements. He said the game-changing potential of Ethiopians in the diaspora should now resort to the economic sector, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Invest in Ethiopia National Forum is also designed to encourage the diaspora to become ambassadors by promoting investment opportunities in the country when they return home.
We can get rid of our challenges permanently only when we have enough economic independence. And this economic independence can be achieved when there is good governance and if the diaspora can bring investment to the country. We have also witnessed your diplomatic efforts to your country, and now we need your sustained and furthered efforts in the investment sector as well. Moreover, we would like to appreciate and be grateful to your diplomatic efforts in defending Ethiopia.
Ethiopia has secured over $1.34 billion in foreign direct investment during the past 5 months. Members of the diaspora approached by ETV expressed readiness to invest in their home country in a variety of sectors.
Well, of course, as you can see, the diaspora committee has already put a lot of opportunity for us. And yesterday and today, actually, we're thinking to work on infrastructure, because that's particularly what I'm trying to do, bridge construction, housing, roads, water management. So that's to train engineers in Ethiopia, or probably also try to bring in some economy from other countries and work together.
Some others lauded the #NoMore movement, which gained worldwide popularity, adding the initiative must continue beyond current challenges facing the nation.
I think we need something that that unifies us and things like that, and this #NoMore has helped us a lot. So I appreciate the people who came with it, especially the Hermela and her team, and it's become a driving motto for people to come together. But for me, in terms of if you really ask me, we have to take it further, because it's not okay. #NoMore, no more of what? So is it going to be political pressure, or is it going to be, for me, I think we have to say, #NoMore of political, economic colonialism, because that's essentially what's happening right now. Because they have so far they have been manipulating us politically, and the only way that we can make a stop to these kinds of pressure is when we develop ourselves economically, when we enrich our countries, when we become wealthy. That's the time that we really will be able to stand against them. So it should be #NoMore of the different things that we need to do, so that we have a clear idea of what we need to do. So as an opinion, it's the first start. It's a very good start, and has helped achieve unite the people, but we have to take it further. That's my opinion.
And now take a look at the latest foreign exchange rates.